Privet, and welcome to Kasnovizhia, my first City Skylines series. In this episode, as the title would suggest, I'm building the local airport for this reason. So right now I'm just leveling some ground in order to be able to place the runway properly, and shortly I shall be starting to build the runway. But Kasnovizhia is a former Soviet state located somewhere in Siberia. It's a completely fictional country, although the map is based on a real-life location. I've just forgotten the name of it. It was inspired in part by Skibiff and $2.20's Osara project, where they're creating a fictional location in the Middle East. And I just decided that I wanted to try something Russian instead. So right now, as you can see, I'm starting to put down the runway. This is a snow map, obviously, because I felt like Kasnovizhia would be a very desolate area. It's not got a huge amount of people living in it, and, well, it's the middle of Siberia. Why would you want to live there? The only reason it exists is because of mineral ores, which you'll see in later episodes. Just had a quick cut there because, well, placing the runway was hell on earth and the game was really fighting me just then. So now, as you can see, I'm doing the taxiways. It's a pretty simple airport. There's literally just going to be one runway, one taxiway. At least for the civilian side. There is a military side as well, which was meant to be another episode, but unfortunately the filming for that turned out pretty bad. So you're just going to have to wait until the cinematics to be able to see that instead. Right now I'm just deciding what terminal building I want to use. I decided on, well, I was going to use the large terminal from Vasimir, but I've decided it was too big. It doesn't, it looks too fancy for this type of airport. It's a pretty crap airport in a pretty crap area, so I didn't want it to be that great, which is why I deleted it after a while. And instead went with the medium airport, which is a little bit smaller, a little bit, not necessarily grungier looking, but just not as fancy or sophisticated looking as the large terminal. As you can see, I accidentally stuffed up here. I rotated something, looked at it, realised I'd put it the wrong way, and had to fix it again. I delete that third one because it just was too large. I want it to be a pretty small airport. And yeah, so now comes the concrete. Just making a very basic little taxiway area, basic ramp, nothing too fancy. A couple of air bridges. Later on I put down some remote stands that are actually functional so that this airport will in fact serve customers rather than just be eye candy. And what I always do, at least with the taxiways, is plop down the 4x4 or whatever size concrete in so that I can actually use surface painter without destroying the taxiways. As unfortunately, if I didn't, it would make messy, ugly lines on the taxiways, and I don't like that. Putting down some Aeroflot jets. There's also some F7 here. That's just about to come up. Because, as I said, this is a former Soviet state. It's located in Siberia. The main airline that would actually serve this location is going to be Aeroflot and S7. Struggling now to find glass jet bridges because typed in air bridge, didn't come up. Typed in bridge, didn't come up. Type glass, finally find it. Just plopping down them now. Just all the hoods, rotundas, making it look nice. And I've run out of things to say, so I'll give you some music now and be back with you maybe later. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just about to start with putting down roads in order to plot the functional parts. Place the road, realise it's not directly parallel to the ramp taxiway, decide to try again. I've just only plopped down, 1, 2, length of the road, 3 of the functional stands. They're not completely in line with the taxiway, so I have to do that. Yeah, unfortunately, since mass transit, I can't reverse my taxiways anymore, so I had to plop it down, delete it, and then remake it so that it would actually face the right direction. Just completing the concrete that was destroyed now, and in a little bit I jump back over to the terminal to connect the road up. It's happening right now. Just finishing off that. So just plopping some concrete, making it look smooth lines and all that. And then making sure no other vehicles can actually access it other than the ones I want. And then I realise the lights are still intact on the road. So I have to use network skins to make sure I change that back, because we don't want little lamps on an airport road. It just looks wrong. And that means, of course, I have to replop all the concrete. Bloody pain in the ass that was. Finish off the concrete now. Well, almost. And now just putting down a little guard post for this road, because obviously it's an airport, it should be somewhat secure. Although at the same time I used Veronica's broken fences, so it's not exactly that secure, because anybody can just go through the fences. It barely exists in some places. Just putting down the fence now. And now I start on the, well, first I put down some snow plows, because obviously this being a snow map and in an area that in real life would have quite a bit of snow as well, you need plows, because otherwise you can't use the airport. Now just, putting down lines so that the planes actually know where to drive, which would be convenient. I wish though they were actually decals rather than props, because the snow on them is slightly annoying in terms of just meaning I can't put as much detail as I would have liked, as it's all hidden by the snow. Struggling a bit to get this line up. Yes, I know PropLine Tool has that control to allow you to edit, but I keep forgetting it exists when I'm using it, so I destroyed it and redid it. Now here originally I was thinking, should I extend the line, but I just decided to instead bring it straight up to the terminal, reduce my prop count a little bit, and then immediately forget about the 12 meter long segment and use 2 meter long segments to make the taxiways. Putting down the runway lights now, just making it look like an actual airport as opposed to a City Skylines airport. And then realised, of course, snow covers everything, so there was no point in having down the taxiway barrier. Hold short markings. Just decided that I would put some hangars in because I figured there would be at least some maintenance facilities at this airport given its remoteness and lack of proximity to other airports. And once again using the concrete pieces to make sure the lines are nice and neat. So right now I'm just deciding what gate to use for the road because obviously again this is a secure area, it needs fencing. I decided to go with the chain with this little design. Basically the chain link fence gate, little guard post, make it look as though only one car can go through at any one time and you have to go through the middle of the road. Bit of traffic cones, some stop lines, and so on. Replicate it for the other side. bypass road for any traffic that doesn't need to enter the secure area. Realise that stuffed up the no parking restrictions, so put those back in place and go back to making fence. As you can see, I stopped the fence short because, like I said, there is a military side to this airport and it's on the other side from the civilian side, and I hadn't built that yet, so I decided to cut the fence short until I built that. Just popping their traffic control tower now, rotating out, making it fit inside the terminal so that the fence isn't there. In the road that leads towards the terminal, as well as the road that accesses the hangar area. Here's the basic 4-lane avenue. Don't want trees, don't want grass. But I did put a roundabout in to make it look somewhat, help traffic flow a little bit. And here I'm just putting down a short/long-term parking area for the airport. It's pretty small. Just a small amount of parking because I don't expect this airport would have much in the way of passenger numbers. Just fencing off the parking lot, once again using Ronix's broken fences because this is a very rundown sort of area. Not much maintenance has been put into it. Constructing the little airport administration area now. Just boldly buildings offices, generic offices, use mover, put it together, use mover, sorry, put them together. And getting rid of that annoying rune texture that appears underneath props. Although here I decided to gravel up the area, same on the side of the runway. So that's all from me. I'm just about to put down some pine trees, and in a little bit I'll put down some industrial warehouses, but enjoy the rest of the video. There's not much longer, and I'll leave you with some music.